In the last lecture, we talked about 3 voting methods. Today, I'm going to add the very last voting method into the mix. That last voting method is called pairwise comparison. And what pairwise comparison is, it's a round-robin tournament. So if you're familiar with what a round-robin tournament is, that's what it is. So in a round-robin tournament, every team plays against every other team. Okay. So what we're going to do is we have 4 candidates here. So these are music streaming services: Tidal, Apple, Pandora, and Spotify. So we're going to list out all of the one-on-one matchups, right? So we can have Tidal versus Apple. What else can we have? We can have Tidal versus Pandora. We can have Tidal versus Spotify. What else can we have? We can have Apple versus Pandora. What else? Apple versus Spotify. What else? Pandora versus Spotify. Is there anything else? I don't think so, right? You can say Pandora versus Tidal, but Pandora versus Tidal is the same thing as Tidal versus Pandora. So these are all of the one-on-one matchups out of these 4 music streaming services. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at each one-on-one matchup and figure out who wins if they went one-on-one. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of how many wins each candidate gets. Right? So here I'm going to keep track of the wins. So Tidal, Apple, Pandora, and Spotify. All right. Okay, so Tidal versus Apple. So if there was only Tidal versus Apple, who would win? And the way you're going to figure that out is you're going to go through for each of these groups of people. So these 8 people, if it were just Tidal versus Apple, who would they prefer? Who would they pick, Tidal versus Apple? So these 8 people, right? Tidal is 1, Apple is 2. So the lower the rank means that they prefer that streaming service more, right? So you want to look for the lower rank. So these 8 people, 1 versus 2, they prefer 1 Tidal. So these 8 people are going to all vote for Tidal. So I'm going to put 8 under Tidal. Next up is 12. Tidal versus Apple, so this is 2 versus 3. Look for the lower rank, which is the 2. So these 12 people are all going to vote for Tidal. So I'll put that under Tidal. Next up is 14. 14, 3 versus 2. These 14 people are going to prefer Apple. So I'll put 14 under Apple. These 2, 1 versus 3, right? Remember, you're looking for the lower rank. So lower rank means that they like that streaming service more. So these 2 will go to Tidal. And then finally 6, 3 versus 1. These 6 will go for Apple. Okay, add up the votes. 8 plus 12 plus 2. It's 22. 14 plus 6, that's 20. Okay, who wins Tidal versus Apple? Tidal won, right? So I'm going to give Tidal, I'm going to mark it as 1 win. All right, next up is Tidal versus Pandora. And we're going to do the same thing, except now with Tidal versus Pandora. So these 8. So Tidal, so the first row and the third row, right? Tidal versus Pandora, these 8. So this is 1 versus 4. These 8 will go to Tidal. Next up is 12. So this is 2 versus 4. So remember, you're looking at Tidal versus Pandora. So the first row and the third row. So 2 versus 4. These 12 will go to Tidal, the 2. Next up is 14. This is 3 versus 1. Remember, lower rank means that they like it more. So these 14 will go to Pandora. 2, 1 versus 4. These 2 will go to the lower rank, which is the 1, so Tidal. And 6. This is 3 versus 4. These 6 will go to title, the 3. Okay, 8 plus 12 plus 2 plus 6. That's 28. And that's just 14. Who wins? Title versus Pandora. Title wins. So I'm going to add another mark for title. So this is 11. This is just 2 marks. I'm just marking how many wins title got. So that's 2 wins. Title versus Spotify. So this is the first row and the last row. So these 8, 1 versus 3. 8's going to go to the 1. That's title. 12, 2 versus 1. These 12 will go for the lower rank, which is the 1, Spotify. It's going to be 12. 14, this is 3 versus 4. 14 is going to go to title, which is the 3, so that's going to be 14 for title. 2, 1 versus 2. These 2 will go to title. 6, this is 3 versus 2. These 6 will go for the lower rank, which is the 2, Spotify. And then we'll find a total. 8 plus 14 plus 2. It's 24. 12 plus 6 is 18. Okay, title versus Spotify, who wins? That's title, so title gets another win. And then you do the same thing. So A versus P, this is Apple versus Pandora. Second row, third row. Okay, 8. This is 2 versus 4. 8's going to go to the 2, which is the Apple. So I'm going to put Apple, 8 under Apple. 12, this is 3 versus 4. These 12 will go for the 3, which is Apple again. That's 12 for Apple. 14, this is 2 versus 1. These 14 will prefer the 1, which is Pandora. So we'll put 14 under Pandora. And then 2, this is 3 versus 4. These 2 will prefer 3 or 4. It'll be 3, which is Apple. So we'll put 2 for Apple. 6, this is 1 versus 4. 6 will go to the 1, which is Apple. So that's 6. 8 plus 12 plus 2 plus 6. Uh, 8 plus 12 plus 2 plus 6 is 28. And this will be 14. Okay, Apple versus Pandora. Apple's going to win. So we'll mark a win for Apple. Next up is Apple versus Spotify. So second row, last row. 8, this is 2 versus 3. 8's going to go for the 2, which is Apple. Next up is 12. This is 3 versus 1. 12 is going to go for the 1, which is Spotify. 14, 2 versus 4. The 14 is going to go for the 2, which is Apple. That's 14. 2, this is 3 versus 2. The 2 is going to go for the 2, which is Spotify. And then finally, the 6 is 1 versus 2. The 6 will go for the 1, which is Apple. So 6 to Apple. Okay, 8 plus 14 plus 6. That's 28. 12 plus 2 is 14. Okay, Apple versus Spotify. This is another win for Apple. And then finally, Pandora versus Spotify. This would be the last 2 rows. 8. 8 is 4 versus 3. 8's going to go for the 3, which is Spotify. So we'll put 8 under Spotify. 12. This is 4 versus 1. I'm looking for the lower rank. So 12 is going to go for Spotify. 14. 1 versus 4. 14 will go for the 1, which is Pandora. 2, this is 4 versus 2. These 2 will go for the lower rank, which is 2, Spotify. And then finally 6, 4 versus 2. These 6 will go for the Spotify at 2. So that's 6 for Spotify. Okay, 14 for Pandora. 8 plus 12 plus 2 plus 6 is 28. So Pandora versus Spotify. Spotify gets the win. Okay, and then count up the wins. Tidal got 3. Apple got 2. Pandora got no wins. And then Spotify got 1 win. Okay, whoever has the most wins, wins. So here, Tidal will win. Right, so Tidal. And that's pairwise comparison. Now that we have all 4 methods, the question I have is, does it matter which method we use? Okay, so what I want to do here is using the same table, right? So Tidal, Apple, Pandora, Spotify, the same thing that we used on a previous page. I want to check the other 3 methods and see if we get the same winner, right? Does it matter which method we use? Here, we'll use the plurality method. So plurality, remember, is just the first place votes. For Tidal, I have 2 ones, one right here and one right here. So that's going to be 8 plus 2, which is 10. Apple, just this 1 1, so just 6. Pandora, just a 1 1, so just a 14. And Spotify, just a 1 here, so just 12. Okay. Plurality means we're just counting the first place votes. So plurality, who wins here? The 14, which is Pandora. So Pandora wins with the plurality method. Next up is the Borda method. The Borda method, remember, we're going to count for each candidate first place, second place, third place, and fourth place votes. And then we're going to give points. 4 points for first place, 3 points for second place, 2 points for third place, and then 1 point for last place. Okay, so for Tidal, we're going to count first, second, third, and fourth place for Tidal. For Tidal, first place, these 2 ones, which is 8 and 2, so that's 8 plus 2. It's 10. Second place, I see just this 2, so that's just 12. Third place, I see 2 3s, that's going to be 14 plus 6, which is 20. Fourth place, I don't see any fourth places, so that's none. So no 4 places. And then we're going to give points. 4 points for first, 3 points for each second place vote, 2 points for third, and then 1 point for last place. 10 times 4, I know that's 40. 12 times 3, 36. 20 times 2, I know that's 40. And then 0 times 1 is 0. Okay, the total score for Tidal is going to be 40 plus 36 plus 40 plus 0. 116. Next up is Apple. So we're going to count first, second, third, and fourth for Apple. Okay, Apple first place. I see just this 1. That's just 6. Second place, I see 2 2s, which means it's going to be 8 plus 14, which is 22. Third place, I see 2 3s, so 12 plus 2, that's 14. I see no 4s, so that's none for the fourth places. and then give points. For each first place, we'll give 4 points. For each second place, 3 points. For each third, 2, and for each last, 1. 6 times 4, I know that's 24. 22 times 3, pretty sure that's 66. 14 times 2, 28. 0 times 1, 0. Add those up. 24 plus 66 plus 28 plus 0. 118. 118 for Apple. Next up is Pandora. Okay, we'll do the same thing. First, second, third, and fourth. All right. First place for Pandora, first, just this one, so just 14. Second place, Pandora, I don't see any 2s, so that's none. Third place, Pandora, I don't see any 3s, so that's none also. Fourth place, there's a bunch of 4s, so that's going to be 8 plus 12 plus 2 plus 6. Okay, what's 8 plus 12 plus 2 plus 6? 28. All right, now we give the points. First place, each first place is 4, each second place is 3, each third place is 2, and each fourth place is 1. All right, 14 times 4, 56. 0 times 3 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0, 28 times 1 is 28. So total for Pandora is going to be 56 plus 0 plus 0 plus 28. 84. And then finally Spotify. Spotify, first place, I see just a 1-1, so that's just 12. Second place, 2 2s, so 2 plus 6, which is 8. Third place, just 1 3, so just the 8. Fourth place, 1 4, just a 14. And then now we give the points. First place times 4, second place times 3, third place times 2, and then last place times 1. 12 times 4, 48. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 2, 16. 14 times 1, 14. 48 plus 24 plus 16 plus 14. 102. All right, so now that we have the total Borda score for each candidate, who wins? 116, 118, 84, and 102. The 118 is going to win, so Apple wins the Borda method. The last method is plurality with elimination. So this is counting first place votes, and then you're going to eliminate whoever has the least amount of votes. And then you're going to do it again, eliminate until you have one person left, and that's your winner. So we're going to start off by counting the first place votes. Tidal, Apple, Pandora, Spotify. Tidal, I see 2 1s, that's 8 plus 2. For a 10. Apple, I see just 1 1, so just a 6. Pandora, just 1 1, just a 14. Spotify, also just a 1 1, 12. So we got 10, 6, 14, and 12. Who gets eliminated? Apple with the 6 gets eliminated. Okay, now new ranking. We have now just Tidal, Pandora, and Spotify. The numbers at the bottom are going to stay the same. They're going to be 8, 12, 14, 2, and 6. And then because there's only 3 candidates left, I should only have 1s, 2s, and 3s for my rankings. Okay, so go column by column. These 8, they prefer which candidate the most. They like, remember, you're going to look for the lowest rank, because that's what they prefer the most. So lowest rank would be 1. So Tidal's going to get 1. After Tidal, what's the next lowest? Next lowest will be the 3. That's going to be Spotify. So Spotify will be 2, which means Pandora is 3. Okay, next column, 2, 4, 1. 1's going to be the most preferred. They like Spotify the most, so Spotify is going to get 1. After 1, what's next? Next is 2, so Tidal is going to get 2, which means Pandora will be 3. Next up, 14, 3, 1, and 4. These people like Pandora the most, so Pandora will get 1. Next up, after this 1 will be what? 3 or 4. Next up will be the 3, so Tidal is going to get the next one, which would be 2 here, which means Spotify's 3. And then these 2 people, this is 1, 4, and 2. These people like Tidal the most, so Tidal is going to get the 1. After Tidal, who's next? The 2, so Spotify will get 2. And then Pandora will be ranked 3. These last 6 people, so 3, 4, and 2, who do they like the most? So look for the lowest rank. So lowest rank is 2. So they like Spotify the most out of what's left. So Spotify will get the 1. After 2, it's going to be the 3. So Tidal will be next with the 2, which means Pandora is 3. All right, so that's the new ranking table with just 1s, 2s, and 3s. And now we're going to count first place votes again. Tidal, Pandora, Spotify. Tidal, I see 2 1s. That's going to be 8 plus 2, which is 10. Pandora, I see just 1 1, so just a 14. Spotify, I see 2 1s, so that's going to be 12 plus 6, which is 18. So that's 10, 14, 18. Who gets eliminated now? It's going to be Tidal with 10. And then one more ranking table. Just after Tidal's gone, we have just Pandora and Spotify left. Numbers at the bottom should be exactly the same. So 8, 12, 14, 2, and 6. Okay, now that we have 2 candidates left, we should have just rankings with 1s and 2s. Okay, so go through each column and ask yourself, who do these 8 people like the most? So 3 or 2. Remember, you're looking for a lower rank. So lower rank is 2. So they like Spotify more. So Spotify will get 1, which means Pandora is 2. These 12 people, 3 versus 1, they're going to prefer 1. So Spotify will get the 1, and Pandora will get the 2. These 14 people, 1 versus 3, the lower rank is the 1. So these 14 people prefer Pandora. Pandora will be 1, and Spotify is 2. These 2 people, so this is 3 versus 2, which one do they prefer more? Lower rank, so that's 2. They prefer Spotify, so Spotify is going to get the 1, which means Pandora is 2. And then finally, these 6 people, 3 versus 1, these 6 people are going to prefer the 1, which is Spotify. So Spotify will get the 1, which means Pandora is 2. Okay, count the votes one last time. So Pandora versus Spotify. Pandora, just this 1, which is 14. Spotify there's 4 ones. That's 8 plus 12 plus 2 plus 6. 8 plus 12 plus 2 plus 6. It's 28. Okay, one last elimination. Who gets eliminated? Pandora gets eliminated, which means Spotify is the winner. All right, so we just did all 4 methods on the same table. So plurality with elimination, Spotify wins. Borda, Apple wins. Plurality, Pandora wins. Pairwise comparison, Tidal wins. Very interesting. So we did four methods, and we got 4 different winners. So who's actually supposed to win, right? Which method is the best method? And what I want you to take away is that from this example is that there is no best method. There's no correct method, right? We had 4 different methods and 4 different winners. So the best method depends on who you ask. If you ask Tidal is going to want pairwise comparison. They're going to try to convince everyone to use pairwise comparison so that they win. Pandora is going to try to convince everyone that plurality is the best method because with plurality, Pandora wins. Apple is going to want to use Borda. That's the best method for Apple. And then Spotify is going to say, no, plurality with elimination. That's the way to go. So that Spotify wins. So there's no one correct answer here. Okay, that's what I want you to take away from these past 2 lectures. All right, that's all I got for you today. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.